This beautiful medieval place is really gonna shock you, just like it did for us.
That is so strong.
Wow. Cheers.
Very cool.
Left Old Town.
Oh, lovely.
Cool little room. I'm very glad to not be living in the 15th century. Now, if you're like me and a lot of other travellers, you may have never considered travelling to Estonia, and that's probably because of the fact that you've maybe never heard of it or heard of people travelling there before, which is exactly why we never considered it. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you why exactly you should put Estonia on your bucket list and take you through some of the best things to do and eat while you're visiting. And first up on our list of things to do is to head to the viewing platforms. There's 2 of them here, and I'm not going to even try to say these words, but this place is absolutely amazing. Something I really love about this view is that you've got the old town right below you, and then out in the distance you can see these modern, huge skyscrapers out in the city. It's just really cool to see such a big contrast between the old and the new, and you don't get that very often. We're staying in the old town this week while we're in Tallinn, and the building that we're staying in is actually from the 15th century, and there's a lot of buildings like that around, and that's because it's considered as one of Europe's best kept medieval towns, which I think is a really cool fact, and you can definitely see it while you're walking around the place. So that first viewing platform we were at was absolutely packed. I'm assuming that's where all the tour groups decide to go. This one is quite empty. Wow, now that is a cool view. So this viewing platform is definitely less busy, and I honestly like this one more. Not just because the lack of crowd, but the view from here with the towers and the wall, I think makes it really special, but they're both really great views and they're very different to each other. So I would suggest going to both and seeing which one you prefer. So as you're walking around the old town, you'll notice that there is this amazing wall surrounding the whole place, and you can actually go up the wall and walk around it, which is exactly what we're going to do next. Also, can we just talk about how cool these towers are here at the entrance of Old Town? It's almost like Rapunzel's about to throw her hair out the window. It says, climb this 14th century tower and stroll atop its 200-metre stretch of town wall. It's pretty cool. More stairs. This is a cool little room. Do you think this is the toilet?
Oh, lovely.
Just onto the street. How's that for a view, huh? You can't get over that, can you? Wow, cool views, guys.
Made it.
I'm just loving this little doorway that we came up through. Doesn't look like you're going to fit, Tom. Hello. So it was €8 for Tom and I. I'm assuming the kids are free because he didn't charge for them. And you get to walk along the whole length of the wall at the front of the town. And it's really cool because it's just so well kept and everything just feels exactly how it would have been, or at least very close. And up we go again.
These are too big for my little foot.
They are big, aren't they? That is so cool, seeing the whole wall.
Jump down.
Oh, me too. Seriously, this little walkway, it's very scary.
So scary. Not my thing.
Alright, I think we'll do it a different way. Hop on my back.
I'm not really sure about this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we did it. That wasn't too bad, eh?
Why did they make it really big for a little toddler's footstep?
Well, I don't think they made them for toddlers. I don't think toddlers were in these towers back in the day.
Having even more steps.
More steps. Oh man. Slowly coming down.
Back way. Can't see where you're going. It's not really my finger stairs.
We made it out. Back to ground level. So cool. So the walk along the wall isn't that long, it's about 200 metres, but I would say it's still definitely worth doing. And even seeing the wall from the view of the tower is really cool. But if you don't want to spend your €8 on walking along the wall, it's just as good walking around Old Town and seeing the old buildings from below. Some of the buildings are just so old and you can see how well preserved everything is. I think it would make for a really cool place to do a free walking tour. And a free walking tour is just basically a local teaching you about the place while you walk around the city, and they'll tell you a lot of really cool facts and a lot of old stories, and it's just a really good way to get to know a place better. So it's technically free, you don't have to tip, but it's probably a bit rude if you are not to tip because you'd probably be the only one that didn't. So this morning we have left Old Town, as hard as that was because it is so cool in there. But honestly, I didn't expect that out of the Old Town you would still see these incredible old buildings. And what I love about this place that we are right now is that they've added modern glass buildings on top of these old buildings, which is such a cool look. And I love that it's kind of keeping the old with the new, and the architecture that they've built around the old buildings is just amazing. But in this amazing area that we are right now is an incredible bakery, and I can already smell it, and I'm really excited to try their famous cinnamon buns. This is such a cool cafe in here. There's only very limited seating, especially when it's a rainy day outside. but we got very lucky and we snagged a seat. But what I've gone with is like a Portuguese tart, and then this is the one that you have to try when you come, and it's the cinnamon bun. We're becoming very familiar with these cinnamon buns, and it's really cool because right behind us you can see them baking all the croissants, and it just all looks so good and everything smells amazing. That's really good. It's like crispy, soft, sweet but not overly sweet. Really nice. Probably should share with Tom. This one's probably one of my favourites so far. I like the crunchy bits because it's kind of like a biscuit. And the way they wrap these up is just crazy.
I love it.
And this is pretty typical of a cinnamon bun, but the deeper you go into the middle, the better it gets. It's so good. They know how to make good pastries, hey?
I'm so happy we can watch them do it, so then we know how they bake those.
Exactly. So there are a lot of different areas to explore here in Tallinn, and along with the very old modern architecture that we just saw, you can also go to a UNESCO Creative City of Literature. They call this the Creative City, and it's easy to see why, because everywhere you look, there's some really cool, fun and unique things to see. There's even a bar called Pietus, and it is inside a Soviet-Russian train. So you can go and eat a delicious burger inside the old train carriage. I think you're gonna like this area. What else can you find? It's like a big bubble. Someone's inside of it. I'm fairly certain that's a real human. Just laying there.
Why is he trapped in there?
I don't know, he chose to be trapped in there.
Maybe he's amazing.
Wow, look at the wildflowers. They're so pretty. This one's an interesting one. There's a lot of funky places to see here. Seriously though, so far Estonia has really surprised us. I know we've only been in the one city, but it has surpassed my expectations so much. And being here does make me honestly feel a little bit silly for what I was kind of picturing this place to be like. But I guess that's just what happens when you're not influenced on Instagram or something for traveling to certain places. And hopefully by watching this video, you'll at least get to know Estonia a little bit better, just like we are. Just keep trying, figuring out hopscotch. So right near Creative City, we stumbled upon a market. And I have actually never read about this place, and I've read a lot of articles on Tallinn trying to figure out where we should go while we're here, and it just never popped up. So I'm quite surprised because it's actually really cool. They've got a lot of fresh produce, all the delis are downstairs, and there's so many different levels. They've also got a lot of food stalls, so you can get some fresh food cooked for you while you're waiting. And I'm just really glad we found this place because it's a really cool thing to see how the locals would do their shopping. But we've picked up a couple of treats while we're here because we are hungry. We got these dumplings. Tom and Mila have already been snacking on. Little dumpling. Very salty. They're very stuffed, aren't they? We've also got a little bit of a treat. This one is a cherry pie, and when I walked past, I just could not resist. Everything in her little stall looked so yummy, and it was even fresh and warm, which is such a bonus. Can I have the first try?
Yum.
Let's see if she's right.
Yummy?
It is really yummy. It kind of reminded me of a McDonald's apple pie. I was hoping it would be a little bit like that, but it's more very hard crust. Still hits the sweet tooth. And it's probably something that gets better the more you eat it. And a good way to end the day. So while you're walking around Tallinn, you're very likely to run into the town hall area. It's this huge courtyard lined with really great restaurants. There's also this massive church and tower you can also climb. And in the middle, you'll find a lot of seats, which is a really cool place to just come and hang out in the morning. But one of the main reasons that we're here this morning is because we are gonna head to a really unique place, and that is the town hall pharmacy. Now, this isn't like any pharmacy that you've been to before. It's believed that it was established first in 1422 and has been continuously open and running for 600 years, which is just crazy to think that this little place has been here for all that time. And back in the day, doctors were actually pharmacists and herbalists, so you'll find a lot of really quirky ideas here of how to heal people. One of them includes the mummy juice, which is imported from Egypt, and it's believed to have healing powers. That's the mummy. And there's dried toad. They also used to use unicorn horn, which was actually narwhal tusk, and they also had love potions and plague treatments. Something about this place which I think is really cool is that it was actually run by the same family for 10 whole generations. And it is still a functioning pharmacy, so you can go in and get your supplies there if you need to. You can also find handmade herbal teas, sweets, and medieval style remedies for sale as souvenirs. But it is a really unique and cool place to come check out while you're in town. It is our final night here in Tallinn, and we've made sure to save something really special for the end, and definitely something very unique as well. So we've booked a reservation for Old Hansa, and it's a really cool restaurant set in the medieval times. So they actually are all dressed up, they serve you in dishes that they would have back in the day, and it's just a really cool experience. So we're gonna head in now and see what dinner we eat, because I know it's all food and recipes from back in the day of when they didn't have normal things. So we might be eating bear tonight. So girls, we are eating like they did back in the 15th century. Thank you.
So then, enjoy.
Thanks. So because it is set in the 15th century, we will be dining by candlelight tonight, which adds to the heat. It's quite hot.
You get the silver and caraway schnapps in honour of Romulus the Reliable.
Jeez, good schnapps now. Some interesting things on this menu I'm seeing already are bear, a bag of dried game meat. A bag of dried game meat. Lovely onion jam. Deer. Berries from the highly blessed olive tree. Meat from well-kept cattle. These names are getting me. Thank you. They served us these cool glasses. Cheers, family, to not living in the 15th century. Cheers. The bear is €85. That makes me actually feel better for the bear. Served with royal bear sauce. So they do actually have a lot of outside seating, but I'm actually glad that we got inside because you get to experience it with the candlelight.
It's a small beer washed down with a little schnapps.
What was the schnapps? Oh, that is so strong. Cheers. There's many flavours to choose from. Oh, cheers, baby. But this one apparently gives you 7 years of good digestion. Maybe we should give this to Callie. Maybe it'll help her with her gut issues. That's really yummy. It's like a soft port. I am loving these cups. Well, not even, you can't even call this a cup. It's meant to be a small beer, but I don't know about that, guys. What's the big one like? So, honey beer is apparently what they used to drink.
Honey.
Still do.
I love honey.
Yeah, it's a honey beer. And yeah, it's a two-hand kind of drink. So before coming here tonight, we were actually at the Kick in the Cock. I'm very surely saying that wrong. How would you say it? It's K-I-E-K in D K-O-K. The museum, we'll call it. So we were at the museum before we came here, and that was also including the Bastion tunnels, and we got to see it throughout the days of how it used to be and all the different ways that they used the tunnels, which was really interesting. But honestly, going through things like that and coming to places like this just makes you so grateful for the time that you live in. I just don't want to live back in the day. I'd like to see it for a moment and then come back to your present time, because it's definitely much better living in the now. Even at that pharmacy this morning, just seeing the way that they would heal people. It's just really interesting to see how they used to live back in the day and comparing it to how we are now. I just feel really grateful to be living in this century and not the 15th. Thank you. So we got the duck. It comes with the turnips, sauerkraut, fermented vegetables, and then over here we've got spelt. So then we've got lamb, turnips, the vegetables again, sauerkraut again, and then we've got some brown lentils with garlic. Mila's enjoying her 15th century dinner. It's very simple food, but we'll see if it's still nice. Pretty good. Try the spelt. I don't think I've ever eaten spelt. It's quite nice, actually. It's like giant couscous balls. Such an effort to get to the bottom. I'm not necessarily saying that it's bad food, but this is another reason why I'm very glad to not be living in the 15th century. Everything's so fermented, sour. I suppose sauerkraut is still enjoyed today by many, many people, but it's not a very common food for us.
Please enjoy thoroughly all the Hansa musicals. Take it away. Viva!
Well, that was was so much fun and a really unique experience. It ended up being around 80 euros for the 2 meals and the schnapps and the beer, which is pretty pricey, but you're not just paying for food, you're paying for the experience, and I think it was worth it. Mila said she really enjoyed watching them all dressed up and all the music, and it was just a really fun night. But that is the end of the video, guys. I really hope it has helped you to see what it's like here in Estonia, and I'm almost certain that it has convinced you to put it on your bucket list. It really is a hidden gem here in Europe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.